Good morning. All right, today I'm going to make for you some no-bake almond and oat bars. It's from the Bodybuilder's Kitchen by Aaron Stern. Now I will tell you that I don't always completely follow the recipe if I find that there's a way that is healthier or for me sometimes cheaper. In this case, it does call for quick oats, which a quick oat is something that removes 2 layers of nutrients. One of those layers is fiber to help keep your food moving on down the line. Also, to help slow down the breakdown process of the oats. And the other layer it's missing is the layer that contains the fat. Again, another thing that's going to slow down the breakdown process, and healthy fats are used for protection and as a secondary energy source. So I will be switching from quick oats in this recipe to old-fashioned oats. Another thing to keep in mind if you do have this book is that I am going to be doing half the recipe instead of the whole thing. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to do 1 cup of old-fashioned oats. All right, so I've got a bowl here that I'm going to go ahead and start adding my ingredients to. We're going to put 1 cup of old-fashioned oats in a bowl. My 1 cup measuring thing is dirty, so I'm using the 1/4 cup. Okay, there's 1 cup of old-fashioned oats. Now it does call for 3 scoops of whey protein powder, but of course you can use whatever protein powder you want, and because I'm doing half the recipe, I'm going to use 1.5 scoops of whey protein powder. Vegan works just fine here as well. ISO, it does not matter, we're just trying to get in our protein. All right, so that's about 1.5 scoops of my protein powder. Then it says 1/2 cup of creamy almond butter. Now, I make my own almond butter. It is creamy, but because, again, I'm doing half of the recipe, we're just going to do 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter. Use that same measuring cup. No reason to get another one dirty if we don't need to. All right, and we're just going to put that in there. All right. Now that we've got the almond butter in there, we're gonna go ahead and add almond milk. Now it calls for 2/3, so I'm gonna add 1/3. Okay, now before I dump the almond milk into the other ingredients, I'm also going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now, for those who haven't done this a lot, you probably want to measure it out. But since I've been in the industry, a pastry chef for many, many years, I have an average idea of what the pour looks like. All right, now we're looking for 2 tablespoons of powdered stevia. Again, we're gonna use a generic brand because it's cheaper. And we're gonna use 1 tablespoon. 1 tablespoon just for sweetener. Now keep in mind, you don't have to do this part. You can keep the sweetener out or choose a different sweetener if you want. Because do keep in mind, a lot of these sugar substitutes or natural sugar sweeteners have so much more sweetening power than what you're probably used to in either natural foods or in things that have refined sugars in them. You can also choose a liquid one like honey or maple syrup. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and pour the liquid in here. Just stir everything up with a spoon. Make sure you have all that almond butter mixed in evenly with your oats. All right, what good is no-bake almond and oat bars if you don't get the almond butter in there? All right, so this is about what you want it to look like. All right. Now I just have an 8x8. If you're making the full recipe, you're gonna do closer to a 9x13 because that's how the pan sizes run. All right. All we're gonna do is put this right in here. Now, what you might want to do is get some sort of spatula, whether it be a rubber spatula or if you have an offset spatula. I'm going to use an offset spatula as I find that's easier with the little curve to get down into the little edges of my dish here. All right, so first we want to get all that yumminess off of whatever you were using to mix it. Right, then we're just going to press it down as evenly as possible into a container. They're gonna be a little bit thinner than probably like maybe if you've made granola bars or something. They're not gonna be as thick as that, but because of stuff like the the oats too, yes, because I've made them old-fashioned, and the almond butter is gonna make it so a little goes a long way, right? You're getting a fair amount of protein in there, you're getting a fair amount of healthy fats in there. You're getting something that hopefully will keep you full for a decent amount of time. Try and get it as even as possible. May not be as easy as it looks. And then kind of just smash it down so that everything melts together. All right, so that it looks like that. Then you simply take your 8x8 container, or 9x13, depending on what you're making, what size. And we're gonna stick it in the fridge just to let everything solidify. And then we'll go ahead and pull it out and cut it into bars and we'll see what it looks like. All right, so 30 minutes in the refrigerator. We've had them in there. Now I'm going to cut them into slices and let's see how they taste. Right, see, much thinner than you're probably used to. Right, they are pliable still. If you would like them harder, you can leave them in the refrigerator or you can stick them in the freezer for 10 to 15 minutes. If you're not going to eat the whole thing, again, you can stick it in a container, put it in the freezer for future use for snacks. Right, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for any future videos. Thank you so much.